What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about the Ruger LCP Max, but not just the LCP Max, but also the 75th year anniversary edition. And there's a reason why I'm making the video specifically on this. Now, I have this LCP Max, and I also have a different version, which has like the tungsten Cerakote, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, it's not the best Cerakote in the world, so it is what it is. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about the Ruger LCP Max 75th edition. Now, what makes this video sort of hard to make right now is Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson dropped the new Bodyguard 2.0, and it's unreal. Now, I don't have one. I didn't buy one yet, but I did get to hold it at my local gun store. And you guys, I'm telling you, we all asked for the Glock 42X, which would have been like a Glock 42 with more capacity, a little bit thicker, basically double stacked, but also gives you the ability to have a longer grip with a longer magazine and base plate, giving you 12, 13 rounds of 380 in a small, very thin, light setup. But Glock, of course, never delivers on what the people want. But guess who does? Smith & Wesson. They dropped the Bodyguard 2.0, which is basically the rival to this right here. This was a unicorn in the pocket carry sector, right? This is the only 380 with capacity that is this small. Now, obviously, I have the extended base plate, and the reason why I have that, I'll get into in a second. But as you can see, I wear size large gloves. I have a little bit shorter fingers, but they're fatter than the average fingers, and that's how small it is. And we're going to also talk a little bit about what you use a handgun like this for. Not as your main carry, but we'll get into it. Anyways, this, though, is rivaling that Bodyguard 2.0. The Bodyguard 2.0 went away from that long, heavy hammer-fire trigger, just like the Ruger LCP series did, right? You now have a ridiculously unreal trigger in both of them for a pocket pistol. Before, the pocket pistol used that as a safety. Now the triggers are a little better, so I do recommend a Kydex pocket holster. Now, what's nice about these and why these can sort of beat out that Bodyguard 2.0, even though that thing is sick, I held it. It is so on point ergonomic-wise, because you can only make a small handgun like this feel so good. And honestly, the LCP Max does a really good job at that. It's super ergonomic. It sort of fills your hand pretty well. I absolutely love it. But that Bodyguard has a lot of features and a lot going for it, right? And what's interesting is my other LCP Max, the tungsten version, is basically the same without the stainless steel. Still has that front night sight and all that. But that one was more expensive. That one was like $350, $360. The 75th anniversary edition, the reason why I'm making a video on this, it's $299. You can find them at your local gun stores for $299. And if you can't find them there, online we'll have them for $299. And for being a unicorn, or at least was a unicorn in its own sector, that's an unreal deal. We're talking 10+1 in this small little setup. You can also use the flush base plate for 10+1 as well. But the reason why I put this little extension on is not worrying about printing or anything like that, because this is a pocket pistol. But when you go to draw that pistol out of your pocket, it helps with that draw. A big thing people don't do is practice drawing from your pocket. Pocket draw is harder than drawing from a holster. So under stress, it's going to be way harder. You have to practice pocket drawing if you pocket carry. And I actually pocket carry a lot. I pocket carry at work 55 to 60 hours a week doing new construction plumbing. I practice it like crazy because that's a major way that I carry throughout the week. Now, like I said, 10+1, awesome texturing. Actually, really nice texturing for a small little pocket pistol like this. Now, what I like about this is they sort of solved a problem while being able to release this, right? The 75th anniversary, let's celebrate, right? But at the same time, what is a major issue that Rugers have? Rust. What's a major issue that pocket pistols have? Rust. What is a major issue that Smith & Wesson Bodyguards don't have? Rust. And it's because they use different finishes and stuff like that, and their parts are just better quality in my opinion, so you don't get rust. Well, by doing the 75th anniversary edition, you get all stainless stuff, right? You get a stainless slide as well as a stainless trigger. Therefore, that helps with the rust. That basically negates the rust. Now, if you take a look, it honestly looks really, really nice. I really like how this is like the Ruger SR9C, where it's shiny on the side and then matte up top. I think it gives it a really nice, clean look. But the big reason why I like that and why I'm selling the tungsten one is the tungsten one, has a Cerakote job that's not that great. and eventually could lead to rust once that is no longer on that slide. This stainless looks about as solid as can be. It literally is the twin to my Ruger SR9C from back in the day. Really love it. Now, like I said, 10+1 or 12+1 with the other mag. I'm curious to how many mags the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard ships out, because this and that being $100 different might be made up for, you know, if it came with 2 mags, because the Ruger LCP Max, even the 75th anniversary edition, only comes with one 10-round mag. Now you can get the 12-round mag, which, you know, you're starting to defeat the purpose at that point because you're looking for something small, pocket carry, but it's still awesome to have. You can still pocket carry with the 12-round mag, and 12+1 of 380, you'll be fine. The other thing is, these things shoot so smooth. These are some of the smoothest, flattest shooting handguns. People think because it's so tiny that it's snappy. It's really not. In 380, being a little bit wider than the old LCPs and Bodyguard actually really help with ergonomics and holding onto that firearm. Now, always make sure that thumb is away from that barrel. You're sort of going to have to creep back and adjust your grip just a little bit. But man, this thing is flat shooting. You can shoot it one-handed, no problems. And I've yet to have a single malfunction in this one, the LCP, Max in tungsten, or my original LCP. They've all been great. Now, obviously, it's cleared. And what's nice about this is everything functions really well. It launches that mag. It racks really easy. So another reason people carry 380 is if you have bad hands, it's a great way to go, because typically on 380s, everything is easier to manipulate. Just like the slide release works really well, which is pretty rare on Rugers. Mag drops really nicely. Now let's check out that trigger. And first of all, I like the trigger. It looks really clean with this setup right here. But let's take a look at it, right? There's nothing. There's literally nothing, right? And what's nice about that is there's no weight, right? Clean. A little bit of over travel. Let's check out this reset, though. It's going to be long, but not bad at all. I mean, it's really not a bad reset. It's actually pretty dang nice. It's actually a nice trigger. I kid you not. It's a solid trigger for what it is, how small it is, and it definitely beats out a lot of the other triggers. Now, compared to the Bodyguard 2.0 trigger, you know, they're comparable. I would say they're different. They both have a very different feel, and that's what's interesting, having two extremely small handguns that are very similar, but very different with the trigger pull. Honestly, I would say they're equal. Like I said, they're both different. I actually really like the LCP Max trigger pull, and I like this better than my Max 9. I do have the Max 9. I don't think it's a terrible gun, but I do like the LCP Max, and I trust my LCP Max just a little more. Another huge thing that comes with this handgun, for only being $300, is those sights. You get a textured, blacked out rear with a U-notch, and then that front sight is a tritium front sight. It's actually really nice. Now, I'm not sure what company does their front sights. I know it's, I don't know, maybe High-Vis, I don't know. But it's a really nice front sight. Let's see if we can see anything. Sorry, there's still a little bit of light, but a very nice clear picture. It's a nice white outline for during the daytime. It's a great sight setup. It's definitely better than most of the other pocket pistols. You rarely get night sights, let alone sights that aren't directly mounted to the slide, i.e. the LCP. Anyways, so in conclusion, I would never get rid of the LCP Max. It's a great gun. It really is. Now, obviously, some people have issues. That's the firearm game, guys. I shoot a lot of handguns. I shoot a lot of rounds. A ton of rounds. Firearms have issues. You know, to me, like, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You have an issue with a handgun, you diagnose it as well as you can. You try and decide if it was an ammo-related issue, a cleaning issue, maintenance, whatever the case may be, or if it's something more serious than that. But you get to see the flaws in handguns, and on top of that, you get to bring them and report them back to people and just let them know, hey, I'm having this issue here, or this issue out the box, or whatever. And that just helps people. And it allows people to look at the handgun differently and try and say, hey, I own that handgun. I haven't had that issue, but it's something I need to keep my eye on. So that's why we do everything over here on this channel. And I've shot my LCP Max, the tungsten one, a lot. A lot. Never a single issue. I know people have problems with some of theirs, but mine have been pretty good. And a lot of the pocket pistols are sort of finicky, at least in the past, because they're cheaper, right? When you're selling an LCP for $250, you know, you're not going to get the most high-end firearm in the world. And on top of that, these sort of feel like fake firearms. They honestly do. But honestly, I love the LCP Max. You know, it's one of a kind, and I get 380s a little underpowered. But if you carry it with Underwood Extreme Defender rounds, you're going to be just fine. Get shots on target, practice your pocket draw, practice drawing, as is. Do some dry fire training. There's a whole lot of ways to get better from home without actually having to spend money. And that's what I recommend with stuff like a pocket pistol. Just get good with drawing, and you will be good after that point. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll just do one last quick up of the whole entire thing for you guys like I like to do at the end. And yeah, that sums up the video. Have a good one, guys. Really nice sights. And honestly, the texturing is pretty dang good. Awesome handgun. Love it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.